is asking for your vote again. But has he earned it? Chief Political Correspondent Emma Withrow has his political report card.
Republican Congressman William Timmons represents South Carolina's 4th District, which includes Greenville and Spartanburg.
Well, good afternoon. It is a beautiful day in Spartanburg and a beautiful day in
Prior to Capitol Hill, the Greenville native was a state senator serving upstate South Carolina.
I thought Columbia, South Carolina, the General Assembly of South Carolina, was the most dysfunctional place I'd ever been. And then I got up here. And Washington is way worse.
Timmons ran for Congress in 2018, promising to change that.
To be elected your next congressman. I cannot thank you enough for that.
I ran a third-party primary, and my campaign slogan was "Washington is broken." And I was fortunate enough in the 116th Congress to be placed onto the Select Committee for the Modernization of Congress.
Now, almost 3 years later, has he kept that promise?
I'm currently the vice chairman, the Republican leader on that committee. So to be in charge of the Republican side of the committee to fix Congress, I'm doing exactly what I told the people of the 4th Congressional District I was going to do, and we're making some big steps in the right direction.
On the campaign trail, Timmons touted the importance of bipartisanship.
And we can't send the loudest voice. We got to send somebody that's willing to show people the way forward that is best for our nation.
But did he reach across the aisle once he sat down in the House chamber?
I'm also on the Financial Services Committee, which is very important. It's important that the district to have representation on what's an A committee, important jurisdiction, but everything we do there is partisan, and we don't really have a lot of exchange of ideas.
Now, despite not being able to work with the other side in that committee, Timmons did sponsor over 100 bills written by Democrats in the last 2 Congresses. Washington politics aside, Timmons said his main focus has always been on the needs of his district. But does he put words into actions to address his constituents' concerns?
Camp Croft was a formerly used defense site. It was used in World War II to train people how to fire artillery shells. Problem was, they didn't all go boom. So we literally had unexploded ordnance in what is a state park now.
It had been there since the 40s, and year after year, the residents in the area complained to their elected officials.
Why has it taken 75 years to fix what is essentially a minefield, landmines, 1,000 acres in South Carolina's 4th Congressional District? I thought that was a reasonable question. And because of all of the requests from the various members I just mentioned, they actually appropriated the money within 6 months, and in the next month or 2, it's done. It's all cleaned up.
In order to represent your district in Congress, you have to show up. I asked Congressman Timmons why he missed over 15% of votes the first year he served.
I'm in the military, and when I ran for office as a member of the armed forces. And military orders are really interesting. They're orders, they're not options. So I had military training in 2019 and 2020, and when you're on Title 10 orders, you're actually not allowed to vote as a member of Congress.
Timmons, now a captain in South Carolina's Air National Guard, doesn't plan to miss any more votes.
Big topics are calendar, what days we meet, and schedule.
And also doesn't want to be in Congress for too much longer.
I actually ran on term limits. My first campaign for the state Senate, I ran against a senator that had been there for 37 years. So I think that we need to have a constant change of ideas. People need to be citizen legislators. That's how it's supposed to work.
But Congressman Timmons does plan to run for re-election come 2022.
As for a grade to go along with this political report card, I asked Congressman Timmons for a self-assessment. He gave his performance over the course of the last year an A-. But as always, it'll be up to you as a voter to give him an official grade come 2022. Next week, I'll be reviewing Charlotte's Congresswoman Alma Adams, who's iconic for her hats and longevity in public service. With your political report cards, I'm Emma Withrow, Fox 46.